Kate Garraway shares family's challenges and admits she's done a lot of crying. Good Morning Britain presenter Kate Garraway has now spoken about her challenges ahead of her appearance on BBC The Celebrity Traders. Kate Garraway has confessed she's done a lot of crying over recent years as she spoke candidly about her family struggles before appearing on The Celebrity Traders, which launches on Wednesday, October 8th, night. The Good Morning Britain host, 58, heartbreakingly lost her cherished husband Derek Draper, with whom she shares children Darcy, 19, and Billy, 15, after his lengthy COVID battle in January 2024 at just 56 years old. Explaining her decision to join this year's Celebrity Edition, Kate disclosed, "I've been through so many challenges over the last 5 years. I've faced a lot of actual life and death moments, and I've done a lot of crying over all that's happened to our family. It's all been so serious. So, this feels like a chance to have fun and make a little mischief playing in what I genuinely believe is the best game on TV." She continued, "I'm a massive fan of the show and I've watched all the series. When I knew I was taking part, one started to watch it all again and I saw it with a different eye," reports The Mirror. "Then I started to get pretty nervous as it can get really brutal at the round table, can't it? So I just decided not to overanalyze and go for it. Also, I love Claudia and have worked with her on other projects, so I just know she will have me in fits of giggles and be so supportive of everyone, so that should get us through." Kate recently dismissed speculation she was dating, despite well-meaning pals and relatives desperately wanting to see her find love again, as she confessed the notion of being with anyone other than Derek seemed preposterous. According to OK, she revealed she disliked the prospect of spending the rest of her life without love. However, she acknowledged that she couldn't envisage herself with anyone else at present. She explained, "What Derek and I loved was our home life and just pottering around, and we had 21 years of that, so mentally I am still in that zone." An insider told The Mirror that, regardless of her hesitations, some of Kate's mates are actively urging her to at least consider the prospect of dating someone fresh. They revealed, "There is someone who's interested, and her friends are encouraging her just to explore that and see how it makes her feel. But Kate isn't really ready for anything more than friendship right now. It's still too soon, so no one is trying to force things." Kate will be joined by the likes of television presenters Alan Carr and Jonathan Ross, vocalists Charlotte Church, Kat Burns and Paloma Faith, and comedians Lucy Beaumont, Joe Wilkinson, Nick Mohammed and Tamika Empson. Performers Stephen Fry, Mark Bonner, Celia Imrie and Ruth Codd will also be accompanied by broadcaster Claire Balding, historian and filmmaker David Olusoga, sporting figures Joe Marler and Tom Daly, and content creator Nico Amalana to complete the 2025 celebrity lineup. It was a morning steeped in honesty and emotion as Good Morning Britain presenter Kate Garraway opened up about the challenges her family continues to face, and the toll it has taken on her both personally and professionally. The usually upbeat broadcaster, known for her warmth and professionalism, revealed in a rare moment of candor that she has done a lot of crying lately, as life behind the camera remains anything but easy. Sitting in the familiar GMB studio, Kate's trademark composure wavered slightly as she spoke about the difficulties of balancing her public persona with the private weight of grief and exhaustion. Viewers have long admired her resilience through the most difficult of circumstances, particularly following the years she spent caring for her late husband, Derek Draper, whose devastating battle with long COVID became one of Britain's most heartbreaking public stories. Now, months after his passing, Kate admits that while she's grateful for the love and support surrounding her, the emotional aftershocks have been profound. "There are still days," she confessed softly, "when the silence in the house feels too loud. I find myself standing in the kitchen, missing his voice, missing the chaos that used to drive me mad but made us. A private battle in public view." Kate's life has often been lived under the harsh glare of the spotlight. For years, audiences watched her put on a brave face, juggling early morning starts on Good Morning Britain with the demands of being both mother and full-time carer. She became a symbol of stoicism, a public figure who embodied courage. Yet, behind that calm exterior, the struggle was relentless. Speaking recently to the Sunday Times, Kate reflected, "People think once the cameras stop rolling, you get to breathe, but sometimes it feels like you never do. The weight just shifts shape." Her honesty has struck a chord with thousands who see in her story their own private griefs mirrored, the unseen moments when strength is more about surviving the day than conquering it. "I've done a lot of crying," Kate admitted, "and that's okay. I think I used to be afraid of crying because it felt like a crack in the armor. Now I realize it's part of healing." The challenge of moving forward. After Derek's death, Kate faced the painful task of rebuilding life for herself and her two children, Darcy and Billy. It's not about moving on, she explained. It's about moving forward, carrying him with us in a new way. The challenge is learning how to live again without feeling guilty for smiling, for laughing, for feeling light for even a moment. Friends and colleagues describe Kate as both deeply private and quietly strong, often finding solace in work when emotions threaten to overwhelm. The show gives me structure, she said. When you're in grief, time can blur. Days can melt into one another. GMB reminds me that life keeps going. It's both grounding and surreal. Even so, there are mornings when she admits the alarm clock feels heavier than ever. There are moments you look in the mirror before going on air and wonder how you're going to get through 2 hours of live television. But then you do. And sometimes you even smile genuinely, not because everything's okay, but because you've learned that life and loss can coexist. Compassion. Kate's candidness has earned her immense respect, not just from viewers but from her colleagues, who continue to rally around her. Co-host Susanna Reid, who has shared the GMB sofa with Kate through some of her toughest moments, praised her friend's bravery. Kate's strength is extraordinary, she said. But more than that, it's her honesty that makes her so inspiring. She doesn't pretend to have it all together, and that's what connects people to her. The Good Morning Britain team have often described the studio as a second family. The quiet support behind the scenes, a squeeze of the hand before going live, a cup of tea left on her desk, has helped Kate stay grounded. You realize how much kindness matters, Kate reflected. Sometimes, it's the smallest gestures that carry you through the hardest days. Finding light in the shadows. Despite the hardship, Kate insists she still finds joy in small, ordinary moments. The sound of her children laughing, the sun spilling through the curtains, the rhythm of life slowly returning. There's beauty in fragility, she said. I used to think strength meant keeping it together. Now I think it's about allowing yourself to fall apart and trusting that you'll find your way back. Her new documentary project, which continues to explore the emotional landscape of care, love, and resilience, is set to air later this year. It promises another intimate glimpse into the complexities of grief and recovery. I don't want it to be about sadness, she said. I want it to be about hope, about how even in the hardest times, people find ways to love harder and live fuller. A message that resonates. Social media was flooded with messages of support following her latest comments. Fans praised her openness, calling her a beacon of courage, and proof that vulnerability is not weakness. One viewer wrote, Kate Garraway shows us that it's okay to be human, that crying doesn't make you fragile, it makes you real. Others expressed gratitude that she continues to share her story so publicly. She's speaking for thousands who feel unseen, another user tweeted. Her words make people feel less alone. Hope amid heartbreak. In true Garraway fashion, she ended her emotional interview on a note of optimism. We've been through so much as a family, challenges that no one can prepare you for, she said. But we're still standing, still laughing, still finding reasons to be grateful. And that, I think, is what Derek would want most. She paused, eyes glistening but voice steady. If I've learned anything, it's that love doesn't end when someone dies. It just changes shape. You find it in memories, in children's smiles, in the quiet moments when you feel them near. And that love keeps you going. As the cameras faded to black, there was a stillness, the kind of moment that lingers long after the show ends. Kate Garraway, once again, had given viewers more than a story. She had given them truth, unpolished, vulnerable, deeply human truth. In a world that often demands constant strength, Kate's willingness to admit that she's done a lot of crying reminds us all that sometimes, tears are not signs of weakness, but of endurance. They are proof of love, of loss, and of the relentless imperfect beauty of being alive.